I should apply whiskey on my baby's gum. You should dangle a cookie in front of the baby. So as you're dangling the cookie, as the baby is walking, you're moving the cookie backward and the baby is trying to grab the cookie. Can't you see this child? Can't you see that child? Why are you not like that other child? Why are you not like your classmates? Why can't you be like your friend? Why can't you be like your neighbor? Why can't you be like your sister? Why can't you be like your cousin? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time of the day that you're watching this video. Okay, you're welcome back to my channel. I'm Chinwe. If you're a returning subscriber, you're the real MVP, and if you're a new viewer, you're welcome on board. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing, and if you're a new viewer, please click on the notification on the subscribe button below and the bell icon so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Please consider subscribing so that we can grow this family together. It's all love over here. Okay, all right, so today's video I want to talk about some humorous pieces of advice that I've reduced in this motherhood journey that I've received. Please, let us say reduce, pardon me, that I've received, okay, along the line so far in this motherhood journey. I remember someone telling me before I had my first daughter, she said, no, that was after I had my first daughter, when she was teething. So I wasn't sure what to do. I googled and I found some advices, you know, I found some tips, some hacks. There's this one about the washcloth that you can put in the freezer when it's cold. Give it to the baby to nibble, to gnaw on it, like to, you know, use her gums to bite. You know, it helps to like calm the area, soothe the area, things like that, you know. Then teething toys as well, teething toys and all that. But then this particular person mentioned something to me. He said I should apply whiskey, like the whiskey that is, you know, that hot drink, that I should take it and apply around her gum. I should apply whiskey on my baby's gum area to soothe, you know, the pain or whatever that she's feeling there and all. There's this other one about babies walking, that you should dangle a cookie in front of the baby. So as you're dangling the cookie, as the baby is walking, you're moving the cookie backward and the baby is trying to grab the cookie. Please, disclaimer, don't try this at all. Please, I never did. Okay, don't try it at all, because you don't want your baby to be an alcoholic from that tender age. You don't even want to think about what, no matter how small, what a tiny amount of alcohol can do to the baby's system. Not to talk of dangling a piece of cookie, the baby can stumble and fall and all. So just do what works for you at the end of the day. Anyway, so today I want to share the best pieces of advice, the worst that I've received so far. I'm starting with the best. So the first on my list that has worked for me is the one that I said, when the baby sleeps, you should sleep. Okay, now sleep when the baby sleeps. It's very easy to say, but practically it's not that easy, especially when you don't have much help. You notice that when the baby sleeps, that's the time that you don't want to use and do some things like sort out yourself, your life, house chores pile up for you and all that. I remember when I had my first two girls, it wasn't too easy because I was practically alone, even though, okay, I had little or no help. I think I had help with my second, yeah. So it wasn't that easy, you know, sleeping when the baby sleeps, because when the baby sleeps is the time when I would want to maybe do dishes or do laundry or tidy up the house, you know, things like that. But now, because I have help, like I have small helping hands, it's easier to sleep when the baby sleeps. Even though, what is happening, like, why is it that whenever I set up this device to film a video, that is when NEPA would do their own? Nigeria. Okay, so as I was saying, I don't even know, please hold on, let me just reset the resolution. Okay, so another one that I got is trust your maternal instincts. Okay, people telling you to trust your instincts when it comes to motherhood. That's why there are times when, even without explaining it myself, I'm just like, no, I don't want them to do this. And then at the end of the day, I'm happy and thankful that I chose that path, you know. Like, let me give an instance. Maybe sometimes you may have a group of friends that are going over maybe for a play date or something, okay, or a sleepover or something, and then I would decide to exclude my kids for that particular event, activity or something, maybe because I just feel I don't feel up to it. Like a part of me is not just on board. A part of me is not just on board with them being a part of that activity, you know. And then eventually, when they don't go, something would end up happening. Maybe one of my kids would fall ill, which would have been worse if I wasn't there to like help salvage the situation. Maybe if my kid had gone there, that child would still fall ill in somebody's house, and the person won't even may not know or something. Like I don't know. Yeah, that. And so I just learned to trust my instincts, and it works for me. Like 98% of the time, it works for me. If my mind is not on board with them going somewhere, I make sure I disapprove. Or if maybe I'm not game with them doing a particular thing, maybe a swimming class or something, I make sure I disapprove, and it works for me. Okay, so I just learn to follow my instincts and trust my instincts as well. Now another good advice that I've received and that I've experienced as well so far: not comparing your child to others. Can't you see this child? Can't you see that child? Why are you not like that other child? Why are you not like your classmates? Why can't you be like your friend? Why can't you be like your neighbor? Why can't you be like your sister? Why can't you be like your cousin? It is wrong, mothers. Please, if you do that, stop doing that. Okay, desist from that, because you're just breathing unhealthy competition, envy, jealousy that is not necessary. Okay, there's a way to still talk to your kids if you want them to emulate another child or something, or the attitude or the behavior of another child. There's still a way that you can talk to them and still get them to do what you want them to do without being negative, like without instilling negative vibes in them. Okay, you just do it in a constructive way, in a very diplomatic way, okay, which would still end up yielding the result that you want it to yield, instead of comparing. Okay, so stop making comparisons. Every child is unique. Your child is unique. That child out there is unique, and you don't even know the weakness that child has that your own child does not have. Okay, so you're comparing your child to someone who has a weakness that you may not even condone. Do you understand? So it's not good. Just learn to accommodate every child. Know that every child is unique, and try as much as possible to desist from comparing your kids to others. Okay, another one is asking for help. Okay, that's another best advice I've received so far in this journey, and it has worked for me. I ask for help as much as I can when I need help, and it works for me. Okay, it makes me not overwork myself. Even when people ask to help out, I'm eager to accept that help. Okay, I'm eager to accept that help. I don't try to do every single thing by myself. Please, there's nobody that finished and then got there's nobody that's finished all the motherhood work and then went to get an award for being the best mother in the world or something. So just do what works for you. Ask for help when you know that you are reaching your you've reached your elastic limit. Okay, ask for help. Don't drain your battery completely until it's flat and dead. No. Okay, once you know that maybe your battery is getting low and all, please recharge. Find ways to recharge. Rest. Take lots of rest. Distress, reduce stress and all that. Okay, by outsourcing, allowing everybody around you to help. All right, that works for me. Even if you don't have help, if you have older kids, they're old enough to do age appropriate chores, please give them, and don't even mind the fact that they don't do it well. With time, with practice, they'll get better at it. Okay, and you'll be so thankful that you were able to outsource when you did. All right, so coming to the worst advice, the first one that I received is someone telling me that I should let them cry it out. Like when babies cry, like let them cry it out, and they'll cry, they'll be fine. Just let them cry, they'll be fine. You know, like when babies are colicky and all that. I remember when I had my last baby, at some point, I don't know, she was having this colic at a particular time. Every single night she would start crying without explanations and all that. I'll try everything, you know, it doesn't work. Sometimes actually letting her cry it out works somehow, because there's nothing that you do to her that would even work at that point. You try to soothe her, you try to placate her, it's not working. You try to nurse her, she's not having it. You try to sing for her, you know, but eventually along the line, maybe when the sisters, everybody just join hands to sing, or we play music that she likes or a rhyme that she likes, she ends up calming down, you know. But just keeping the baby, I've heard that there are people who say they just keep their baby. The baby cries and cries and cries and cries until the baby cries herself or himself to sleep. I even know someone who does this for, or did this for, at least one of her kids. I'm sure of one of her kids. She was trying to sleep train the child, and then what she would do is whenever the child starts crying, like the child is crying, the child wants to sleep, instead of nursing or cuddling the child to sleep, she would leave the child would cry himself to stupor and eventually fall asleep. And to her it's fine, you know, she feels like with time the child will get it. But I don't know, I don't know, for me, I don't think it sits well with me. But of course everybody's entitled to their opinions, okay? I just feel like at the end of the day that child would end up maybe developing a headache, or the child may run a temperature from all that cry, you know, or the child may become cranky, even more cranky, because, you know, and fussy and all. Yeah, but I don't know, at the end of the day it's still what works for you. Another worst advice I've received, this one is bizarre. Like, I heard that some people say that when you carry the baby too much, you're spoiling the baby. Not over petting, you're petting the baby too much when you're carrying, because you're carrying the baby too much. Please, a baby that's still a newborn, for instance, that's not up to a month or just a few weeks old, how does that baby know the one that is petting and the one that is not petting? The only thing is babies have a routine. So for me, what I would say in this aspect is that when you make that baby get used to the routine of being carried, the baby will want to always be carried. But so routine works for babies. It works for my baby a lot. She has a routine and it works for her, and it worked for my other kids as well, and I know that it works for every child, especially when you stick to it. So one thing with babies, if you have a routine for your child, they get used to it. So that's what I would say about that. Not that carrying a baby too much will not make baby to be spoilt. I feel like it's just because the baby is already used to the routine. Okay, you always carrying the baby, so the baby knows, oh, when you carry, it's safe, it's comfortable. If you are used to keeping the baby on the bed, the baby will still be used to that routine, and the baby will be there and be fine. So it's all about your routine and how you want your baby to grow up or develop and all. Okay, so it's not about spoiling. The baby doesn't know that you are spoiling him or you're not spoiling her or whatever. So if you want to carry your baby and that works for you, and you're fine carrying your baby at all times, please carry your baby, knock yourself out. Your baby will grow up being just fine, just strong, just however that God has destined that baby to be. It's not the carrying rather, that would make the baby to now become spoiled or not become spoiled at that tender age. No. Okay, now another worst advice I have received is the fact that, in fact, this one it's unbelievable. The fact that said discipline them before they understand. Even when those babies don't know what they are doing, you smack them, that they don't know what they are like. Of course, I know babies are human beings, but it gets to a point they work with developmental milestones. So a child that is not even up to maybe 3 months, okay, maybe messes up himself or herself or does something, and they start smacking the child. Or a child that is not up to 6 months, a child that is not up to 9 months. You know, these things come with age. My baby now that is older, okay, she's closer to a year, for her, I can, maybe she does some things like picking up maybe dirt from the floor that she's not supposed to, I can smack and say no, don't do that, you know. Or I can just give her a stern look and, you know, tell her strictly points and tell her not to do that. I say no. She understands at that point. I mean, if you want to discipline at that point, you can maybe smack a little. I feel like they can understand because they're older. The babies are way younger, and then you're smacking them. They don't even understand why you're smacking them. You get? So it boils down to your style, parenting style. Then you knowing your child and knowing that, okay, at this stage I feel like my child understands verbal cues, so I can tell my child, no, don't do that, no, sit down here, stand up, do this, and the child will listen. Okay, because I know for my baby it works for her. When I give her verbal cues, she listens and she does that. But there are babies that maybe even at that age, because of their developmental milestones and all that, they may not be able to understand. Please, at this point, I think they're telling me that I should round up this video. So yes, thank you, that's it about it, okay, for today's video. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and share your comments in the comment section as well. What are some of the parenting tips, negative, positive ones that you received, okay, raising your kids till now, before, in the past, now, and all? Please share with me in the comment section, and please subscribe and share the video as well. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you next week in another video. Bye.